The Random Show. Inside knowledge of TV, pop culture, and game shows. With your host, executive producer of Let's Make a Deal and The Price is Right, Mike Richards. Joined by the shortest moral compass on podcasts, Beth Triffin. And now, The Random Show.
Welcome to The Random Show. I'm Mike Richards along with Beth Triffin.
Hello.
How are you today, Beth?
I'm really good, actually. How are you?
I'm really good today. I'm a little tie-tie because we had a big Price is Right day yesterday, which we'll get into. But we have
I
a
saw it on
very good...
Facebook.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm.
It was everywhere. It went viral. A great random show for you guys today. We're going to talk about a new game on Let's Make a Deal, which I'm very excited about.
Ooh.
And we're going to talk about new shiny floor, new podiums being put in on The Price is Right, which I'm quite nervous about.
Big stuff. Why are you nervous?
I'm afraid it's going to be too shiny.
Really?
Yeah.
But the floor already is like kind of white and shiny.
No, so it's not it's the home base floor.
So no more
which
carpet.
Is carpeting is gone. Yeah, which is great because let's be honest, game shows shouldn't have carpet on them in 2013.
Wow. Big things are happening.
But we went with a pretty shiny one. Anyway, we'll get into it.
Okay.
It's very exciting and very nerve-wracking. We'll talk about our, as it's written on the board, our yacht trip yesterday. With The Price is Right.
Your job is so hard.
It is tough. And then Jordan Haas will be on the show, who's a big fan, and he tweets me a lot.
That's so exciting.
And he always has such nice things to say, and he likes both shows, and he asks intelligent questions.
Yeah.
And what I've said is, I tweeted this morning, it's like, hey, if you have questions about price or deal, tweet me, and we'll answer the questions on the podcast. So we're going to talk to Jordan. We'll answer a couple of those Twitter questions. And then, if we have time, another installment of The Beth Story Ever Told. Ever told.
It's going to be a good one.
Is it?
Yeah.
You know, they're all kind of amazing.
Oh, good. I'm glad you think so.
Your life is a sitcom. And just to tease what it is,
yeah.
you have quit. I almost said fired, but you got
I quit a job.
And?
I got let go from another one.
All within a 1 week span?
Yeah, Friday and Friday.
Wow.
Friday to Friday.
There you go.
Yeah.
And that's why it will be the Beth story ever told. So let's get into, first of all, on Let's Make a Deal. We have like 12 games, and then we have like 100 deals. Mm-hmm. But we have 12 games, and games are expensive to build. Mm-hmm. They're expensive to do R&D on because you want them to work perfectly.
Right.
And so we don't come out with them that much, and the show's going into its fifth season. So we have a neat grouping of games that really, I think, fit the show. But we've been trying to figure out a way to do kind of a bigger money game. And when I say we've been trying to figure this out for 4 seasons. We've been throwing it back and forth, and where do we want it to go, and how do we use it, and all that. So
and when you mean bigger money, like what are you talking?
I'm talking about, get the reverb ready. You ready? you do the reverb, Jen Bisgrove. Producer Jen Bisgrove is here, so you'll do the...
That means you echo a lot.
You echo with me. So
okay.
It's $30,000.
$30,000. Oh.
That was, wow.
That was,
Jen,
sorry.
Jen,
that was an echo
Jen may
fail.
be a little, and I'm using air quotes, tired from yesterday. Because when she gets on a boat,
she gets
really
hungover,
thirsty.
actually.
Yeah, that's what I wasn't actually going to say that.
Oh, I'll say it.
But yeah.
Thanks, Beth.
Yeah. Today's not her day.
That's okay.
No, I'm doing good.
You
Today's my day.
You are actually having a good
pretty
day.
on it today.
Cool.
So anyway, we've been working on it. It's $30,000 game, and so we've been taping those episodes in the past week, and it's called Big Shot. There'll be a big press release about it, but
ooh, a press release!
Hello,
I can't wait till it hits the press.
Yeah, this
Big
just
shot.
in.
Come on, Let's Make a Deal.
Wow. I can't see why you got fired from your job.
Hey, it wasn't an acting job. That's good.
Yeah, that's exactly
That's
right.
good.
Because you would have to have an acting job to get fired.
You're such a...
No,
I'm not going to say it.
Don't.
Move on.
You know I'm your biggest
I know
cheerleader.
you are.
Please. So anyway, it's very echo. Cheerleader. So it's exciting, and it's a really interesting game. It's on a wheel.
Ooh, a wheel in a game show?
I know. I thought the same thing. It's amazeballs.
It is.
And it's basically where if you want to go for $30,000, you spin the wheel, and there's a one money amount on it, and the rest are zonks. So you have a 1 in 16 chance of getting it, so it's difficult. But if you want a little better chance, you want to go for $10,000, there's 4 spots on the wheel that are money and 12 that are zonks, on down to $2,500. So you have a better chance of winning, but it's less money. So kind of a risk-reward thing, which I love the psychology of that and watching people somebody's gone for $30,000.
Right. Has like a really slim chance.
And you've got no you've got no shot, which is a bummer. It's not my favorite part of the game is that when they go for the biggest amount of money, it really feels like
I have a question.
No chance.
So when you said like, oh, this is a big money game, like it's $30,000. Like, how is that compared to like where like sometimes like price like pay the rent is like $100,000. Like, how do you have to?
It's $70,000 less.
Yes. Oh God.
Did I answer the question?
No, you didn't.
Oh.
I just want to know like what qualifies like big money for price and then big money for.
I think they both. I mean, there aren't that many games on price that are above $30,000 either. I mean, Plinko you can play for up to $50,000. I'm sure there's one that I'm not thinking. A lot of times Golden Road plays for it. Three Strikes usually has a car that's more expensive. $30,000 is a big money game to me.
Yeah,
I mean that's a lot of and it's not segmented or you either win it or you don't, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing is when someone wins like $20,000 on one of the shows. It's like we had someone win Smash for Cash on Deal last season, finally, and they won $20,000, and it's amazing to see someone win that much money. And then when we had the Publishers Clearinghouse week where people
that was cool.
won $20,000, I mean, like every day. That was a week where, and it's the same thing on price. It was so exciting to come to work because you knew someone was going to win $20,000, and that's just an amount of money that everyone can benefit from. There's some people that can benefit from $1,000, and there's some people that can benefit from $20,000. I think like even Drew Carey could benefit from $20,000. Like he would just spend it on tipping people after a $50 dinner.
I know, it's really sweet when he does that.
Isn't that what he would do? He'd be like, I won $20,000 today. I bought a $15 steak, so here's $20,000 tip.
Oh, I know, that's really sweet.
Which is why I never tip when he's around. I always have him tip because can't
because
he's always like,
aren't going to be a good tipper.
Well, he's like, dude, that's all you're going to leave. I'm like, that's 40%. He's like,
and I know for you that's really hard.
Well,
I know
for anyone it's really hard. You don't. I bet you don't tip 40%, do you? No, not ever. Not once in your life.
You wouldn't tip 40% if Drew wasn't staring at you signing the tab.
But I'm a pretty big tipper.
I am too.
I bet you I tip more.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'm
Percentage-wise, I'm sure. Yeah.
Well, I have a question. Do you tip on takeout?
I do not.
I do.
Well, that doesn't even make sense because who gets that? Who gets the money then?
What the dude who packed it up for me.
He didn't. No, they didn't.
Yes, they all get a part of it. They all get a part of it.
Let me ask you a question. Do you know that? For a fact?
Yeah, I do know that.
I don't see, here's the difference between you and I. I don't just throw money at things trying to feel good about it. If I think it's going to reach the person I'm trying to reach, then I do it. But I don't think you can say in all Beth honesty.
I really think I can.
That you're sure it goes to the guy that packaged it up? Did it go to the guy that made it? Or did it go to the cash register person that rung it up? Or did it go to the person that answered the phone?
Mike, maybe they all split it up. I don't know why you're being such a crazy about it.
You don't know.
But it does go to these people. It goes to the people that work at the restaurant.
What if it goes to someone that's not deserving? That's not nice.
I think they're all deserving because they work there.
Yeah, that's the difference between you and I. Because they
stayed
I
would just like to say that I just ran into Salvador, the guy who does the car washing at whatever, and he was so happy to see me. I can't even tell. He was like, "Where are you? I miss
sure
you.
He really misses you throwing my money at him.
I'm so happy to see you." And I was like, "I know, Salvador. I'm sure things have been really rough since I left."
Yeah, for those of you who haven't listened to the Random Show regularly, and by the way, how dare you not listen to it regularly? Beth used to be my assistant, and one time there's a great guy on our lot at CBS named Salvador who washes the cars, and he's like the nicest guy in the world. He does a great job. It's $25 for a car wash. Yeah.
$20 for the wash, $5 tip is what I usually do.
Okay, so $20 for the wash. So like a medium amount of money. I mean, that's not exorbitant, but it's also not cheap for a car wash. I think it's a lot, but whatever. But he is like the nicest guy, and he's always so available and whatever. So one time Beth paid him. What'd you pay him? Like $45?
No, I did not pay him $45. I probably paid him like $35.
I think you gave him a $20 tip on a $20 car wash.
Well, he really likes me now. And
yeah, so no kidding, he misses you. Beth, I miss you. I'd bought a place in Hawaii, and now I can't afford it anymore. Oh, Beth and her. But see, I like giving people warranted, merited tips. Like if I have really great service at a restaurant, I give a bigger tip. If someone's rude, I don't give as big a tip. I've only once in my life not given a tip, but the person was
Mean to you.
it just, well, you know what it is? Mean to the people I was with, which is
Yeah,
worse.
yeah, yeah.
And you're like, no, I'm not going to reward that.
Yeah.
This is not the United States of Beth. It's the United States of America. Let's get off of that. And so that's Big Shot. That's very exciting.
That's
and
cool.
It's working great. And we've seen it play, and people have won and people have lost and gone
Cool.
for big amounts of money and gone for smaller amounts of money. So it's really a fun game. It looks really cool. Sean, our production designer, did an amazing job on it. Chris and Graham, who've been on the podcast before, came up with it, and it's a really fun one. So we'll see. The idea is it's going to run 5 days in a row and be promoted as part of a Let's Make a Deal, Price is Right, Big Money Week. It'll be interesting to see if we keep it in the rotation after
Cool.
that. It's very fun. Then the new shiny floor, which we touched on. I'm very nervous about it, Beth.
Is that getting a press release?
It's not a bad idea. Jen Bisgrove, let's write a press relief.
On it.
Do you like floors? Do you like
like
things that are
shiny
shining? Do you like shiny floors?
Love it.
I am never worried about set stuff because I always feel very confident in what we're doing because we spend an enormous amount of time. This is for Price is Right, and I am a mess because I'm afraid it's going to be like blah. Like I don't want it to distract. I just want it to be nice. Like
well,
a
what
subtle
color
upgrade.
is it?
It's blue. It's Price is Right blue. It's not the color of it. It's
It's
not
the
that it's not
shine.
carpet. It is the shiniest thing you've ever seen. But I haven't seen it on the set yet. I've only seen strips of it.
So what made you approve it?
I saw a rendering, a computer rendering of what it would look
You were
like.
drunk.
I
I'm
was
just kidding.
hammered. No, I saw a rendering of it, a really nice computer rendering, not like the 2D ones, but like that you really and they can show it's this material and it'll take the lights this way, and it wasn't quite as shiny in the rendering. And then when they brought out the demonstration of it, so here's what we did, and here's a little insight into Price is Right Inc.
Cool.
And that is, I was so nervous that the floor was going to be too shiny that we have approved a backup, just insert that's not as bright
To, like, cover it?
in case it's too bright.
Oh, good.
Because I literally was losing sleep over the fact that we were going to come out and be like, yeah.
Like there's reflections on everyone's face.
Yeah,
and
that you never want something to distract from what's happening on the show. You just want it to look nice. And so we literally built an alternate floor, which it wasn't that expensive, but it was money. We didn't tip them on doing that.
No.
But so I'm nervous. I'm going to see it Sunday.
Sunday.
Today
cool.
is what day of the week?
Wednesday.
Yes. When you shoot every day of the week, Beth Triffin, you have no idea of what.
When you don't
day.
work, you really don't know what day
that's
it is
interesting.
either.
I remember that. I remember being on hiatus and being like, what day?
What is it?
You guys want to go out? And they're like, Mike, it's Tuesday night.
I know.
Is that you, too?
I love going out on Tuesday night, actually, because places aren't that busy.
That is nice. See, that's the only time I would go out.
Yeah.
I don't like busy places. And then the final thing we did is we took the Price is Right staff yesterday, and you saw it on Facebook.
I did.
We took once a year we like to try to get away. We talk a little bit about the show and prizes. We were really working on the games that we have, the new games, refurbishing them, what ones we like, what ones the staff doesn't like. So it's a really great opportunity for people that work on the show. There's like 16 of us there, I think, or 15. And just to say, we almost get to act just like fans. And that's what's so fun about Twitter. And my Twitter handle is @MRichTV, right? Yeah, @MRichTV. And you should tweet us because it's literally a direct access to us if you have questions about the show or things you like or don't like. I love it. And we'll get to some of the tweets later. But it's literally the staff going, I really, there was one person, I'm not going to say who they were or what game it was,
I kinda wanna know.
but it was hilarious. Like she just ripped into this game and was like, I do not like that game. I laugh every time the doors open. Like it was really, we were all in stitches about it.
I really want to know what this game is.
I'll tell you what the game is. It's Danger Price.
Oh, I think I know.
It has the big spider web
and
thing in
it's
the back.
like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, I like Danger Price, but you know what's hard for me in those meetings is that I really feel passionately about our games, and I know that they're not all perfect, and I know not all the sets are perfect on them, but I'm that guy. Like it's my job to believe that they're great, and if I don't, to make them great.
Well, and I think also it shows now, like you've done so many updates on games that some of the games are so beautiful, and then the games that just haven't gotten there yet, it's just sort of like, oh, and there's that thing that's made out of wood and painted, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, it was funny. She was like, I literally bust out laughing when the doors open and it's Danger Price, and I was like, Huh.
Did you guys have to go around and like say your favorite game?
Yeah,
and all
everybody
that
went
kind of
around, did
stuff?
their 3 favorite games.
I effed that up so much that first year.
Yeah, you did. What's your favorite game?
What's my favorite game?
Yeah, that's actually a Twitter question.
Oh, really?
They weren't asking you; they were asking me. But
no, you go. You can go first. You can say your.
No,
favorite
I've got
game.
to. I was going to find out who tweeted that one. Go ahead.
What is my favorite game? You know what? To be honest, I really like Any Number. I know it's kind of a boring game.
No,
but
that's what everyone.
Really
literally, I would
keeps
say
me on the edge of my
90%
seat.
of the staff said Any Number.
And I like the game where you have to like race to get the right.
Race game.
Yeah. Yeah, that game's great too.
Yeah, that one.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
At Dave Walls. So Dave Walls said, "Hey Mike, favorite TPIR game, past or present? Also thoughts on taking the TV show on the road, Radio City, Vegas, etc. Thank you." So for me, favorite games is tough because I have a lot of them, but I'm a pricing purist. So like I look at a game like it's in the bag, and I think that is like like a perfectly pure pricing game.
Yeah.
You have to price it. You have to get it in order. There's risk reward. I think Drew is now great at hosting it. So it's in the bag, and Bob was amazing at it. I mean, at doing it's in the bag, and it's also I think a deep favorite of mine because when I auditioned to host Price is Right, it was one of the games they had me do.
Cool.
And I was like, this is like the greatest. It's like, you've got $4,000 now. Do you think that thing of peanuts is worth $4,000 more? You can go for it. It's really a great game to host. So I like that one. I love Checkout.
Oh, I like the props.
I like the cash register.
Yeah,
I want to redo
register.
the surround around it because it's a little corny-ish.
Yeah.
But I love the old cash register. I don't want to change that. I might change the mechanic of it.
I think so.
Of the cash register because what you don't know, and we should do a behind the scenes thing. Jen Bisgrove, producer Jen Bisgrove, write this down.
Yes.
We should do a behind the scenes of how impossible that cash register is to use. It's
that's funny.
so hard to use, and that's why
You're just like
the models
I get
hate
stressed
it.
out.
They get so stressed out. They inevitably somebody screws it up, and they always think someone's going to be mad or whatever. And I'm like, no, because I was like, how hard can it be? I got over to it. I literally never got one thing right. We played like a practice game with it, and I was just running the cash. And it's impossible. So we should do that because it has like a legend of how to set it up. Like the
like a
models
key?
are looking at, yeah,
Oh, goodness.
keystrokes that put in the appropriate amount. I mean, it's goofy at best.
That's really funny.
So it's impossible to do. We should do that. We should have people come and try to run it. They're like, how hard can it be? Yeah, it can be that hard. So those are, I love Rat Race because Drew created it, and I think that was one of the first ones I was a part of, getting to build and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
it
that
was
was
really
incredibly
cool.
stressful, but really fun. I do like that game. I mean, the only downside of Rat Race is, and we were going to talk about this, I was going to actually blog about this, is that we had a rat not go. And so the rats on Rat Race are just wound up.
Yeah, it's kind of scary to put your faith in that.
Yeah, and we say, and Drew says it at the beginning, like the rat may not move, it may run out of spring by the time it gets to the end. Like, we don't know, and that's part of the chance. It's one of the Price is Right chance games. So even if you price everything perfectly, you still may not win the main prize. You'll still win a prize on that show, which is I think the smart thing about it. But yeah, and we had one that actually the woman's didn't move. Because it just sometimes they don't move.
Does it make you just want to redo that?
Yeah, no, of course. But here's the thing: anytime something happens on the show, you always want to redo it because you always want to see someone win. We're never like, "Oh, good, I'm glad that rat didn't move. That was great. That was very fulfilling as an audience member." No, I mean you want it to go, so you want to redo it. But the reason we have very clearly written rules, each game has a Bible that has rules written about it. That you can't do that because that would be unfair. Because now you've advantage that person, which then would disadvantage the next person who may not win as much, that would put them at a different place in the wheel, which would then possibly make them not get to the showcase, which then would disadvantage the other person that got to the show. It's like a house of cards, so you kind of have to leave it.
Right.
Beth glazes over when I start talking about games.
I'm not
you
glazed.
You totally glaze.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
You're like, I wonder I think I'm going to get my toes done. That was that look. Like, you know what I'd like to be? Anywhere but in this freezing cold office.
That is so not true.
So anyway, we went. So the
this.
offsite was fun, and then we took a boat cruise around the Newport Harbor and laughed and
That sounds awesome.
and cried. No, there was no tears. I
Probably was.
sounded the horn in an effort to try to get Jen Bisgrove to jump off the front. It scared her to death. We have the video.
Really?
Yeah. Well, the horn on this thing is huge. It has its own air compressor, so it's a loud horn. It's not a small horn.
That is so awesome.
So we'll start posting pictures from
the pictures look really cute.
our event.
Yeah.
On
awesome.
whose Facebook were they on?
Vanessa Talene.
Yeah, sure. They're big into the social media.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm gonna get that's what.
Are you
Jen
going to get a
Bisgrove,
Facebook page?
I'm gonna do I think and I know this sounds arrogant. Not arrogant. It sounds, I don't know. It sounds goofy to me, but I guess they have like fan pages.
Yeah, they do.
I think I might do that
Good idea.
because I would rather connect with people that like what I'm doing in the work world. There's not like a bunch of people that I'm like, I wonder what my friend from high school's doing. Like, I don't have that because I know where all my friends from high school are. They live up the street.
Yeah.
So I don't like
so rare. That's so cool.
Right. So if I want to get in touch with them, I don't need a reminder of when their birthday is. I'm going to forget it either way.
Yeah.
And they're going to forget mine, and we're guys, and we don't care.
Okay.
So, so I think we might do that. And then just another way to interact with the
Yeah, you
podcast and the
should.
shows and something else I'm hosting or something else I've sold, which would be great.
Are you on Instagram?
I'm not. I had that explained to me yesterday on the boat.
I just started like Instagramming a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Well, we can get into it, but I don't understand Instagramming versus just tweeting a picture.
Yeah. Well,
'Cause-
Instagram
and
makes the pictures look cooler. You can like make them artistic,
Which
but you
was
won't
the
want to
answer was
do that.
Thanksgiving.
So
Right. So I'm out because
Yeah, so you're out.
My pictures aren't that artistic, even if I could adjust them.
Yeah.
So it was a really fun day. I think everybody had a good time. Jen Bisgrove,
Yeah, it was great.
what was your favorite part? I'm going to make Jen talk.
Yeah.
My favorite part
Mm-hmm.
was going out in the front because I had never been at the front of the boat and
Mm.
like just the view and everything, the sunset until the horn went off.
You
Actually,
would do
my
that.
favorite part was when Mike fell. We were standing
did
out
fall.
there.
Oh my god! Why did that come up first?
Audio blowout.
Did you fall?
I was standing kind of funny. I had my feet up a little bit, and the captain of the boat kind of accelerated the boat to get around something or do something. I don't know what he was doing. And I was zoned out, not paying attention. Everybody else was kind of holding onto a railing, and I was just...
I should get my toes done.
Yeah. Oh, did you just zone out?
No, I was thinking about you. Thinking.
Getting my toes done? I really do.
And so you just fell over?
I literally just sat down. And what's funny is, what was your thought?
Well, my thought was he's accelerating and Mike's sitting. Is that what we're supposed to do now? Like,
because I didn't
Oh.
fall down. I just sat down, but
darn.
it was a fall.
It was a fall.
And
You
I-
just did it gracefully.
Kind of, except for I spilled a little wine.
yeah, all over Vanessa.
Oh no!
Not all over. She's such a whiner. It mainly got on the...
So everyone heard about that. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so
no
that was
video of
good.
that fall.
No video of that one. We
No.
do have video of the horn going off because that was staged.
I wanted to do it back to you, the horn, and Tom wouldn't let me.
Yeah, see?
He's like, Gary would not approve. I'm like, ugh.
That's awesome.
It's good to control everything. Okay, so before we put Superfan Jordan Haas on the phone, I want to read the email he sent us. We have an email account, which has not been widely used because we never mention it. I don't even know what
is
it
it?
is.
Random show at Yahoo.
Randomshow@yahoo.com. RANDUMB show. What's wrong with the Yahoo?
Gmail was taken.
All right.
Oh.
randomshow@yahoo.com. Anyway, he emailed us, and he said, I'd love to be the first letter read on the show.
Oh.
Or at least one that is just show that this is the right email address. Check. I've been listening to the podcast since the first episode, and it's fantastic. Thank you. I really love the chemistry between you two, and when you add Jen Bisgrove to the mix, the best part is that he uses her full name, because I only use her full name. Simple stories of transportation, such as a car on its deathbed using a motor scooter to get around town, or just walking to Starbucks while getting filmed for Hidden Camera Show number 1304 is hilarious.
Totally happened.
From talking to contestants about their prizes, talking to some of the best names in game shows, it's a blast hearing from you two each week. With that formality, I now have a couple of questions to ask. So let's get into the questions. Jordan, are you there?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Great.
Hi, Jordan.
Jordan Haas on the Random Show.
This is so exciting.
Our first fan call.
I was pumped when Jen told me about this.
The first non-contestant to probably be on the show.
See, he even knows the
Yeah.
podcast, Beth.
Oh my God, Jordan, you're so cool.
I think I want to make that it makes him cool, that he knows. And so we know
Yeah.
Jordan because he tweets me a lot, and I respond a lot. And I tweeted this morning, if you have questions or whatever, fire off some questions. And so we got a bunch of them. One of them we went over a little earlier in the show. So, Jordan, let's get right into it. Do you have a question for us about Price is
All right,
Right
well,
or Let's Make a Deal?
Well, the first one, I think you probably got the what's your favorite pricing game, right?
Yes, we did. We just did that.
Mm-hmm.
What's yours?
That's a tough question. Mine would probably be Rat Race. actually.
Oh, we were just talking
that was
about it.
that was in my top 3.
I liked Rat Race. Everyone says Plinko because it's like the go-to game. I actually kind of like, in some ways, Golden Road. Golden Road's a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can not just pump your fist, Jen Bisgrove. You can use your microphone.
I said it yesterday. I like that game, and everyone was like,
Here's why I don't like Golden. I do love Golden Road.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen it won.
Oh.
I have, but never since I've worked on the show. It's never been won during Drew's tenure.
Got it.
And any game that people don't win, I kind of go, ugh. I like people winning. So we've got to figure out how to get someone to win Golden Road. It's time.
Yeah.
But I love Golden Road. Like, conceptually, I love it. It's a great pricing game. But
Yeah, and the prizes you get for it are fantastic.
Yeah.
Really exciting.
yeah, I love those cars.
Mm-hmm.
I like those cars. Beth
I know
Griffin.
you do.
So, Jordan, what did you want to ask us?
Well, the second question I had, because it was kind of like, for mine was like, what was the twist? Was grocery item-based game.
Oh, yeah, for me, that's...
So many.
Yeah, that for me, the grocery item. Yeah, I got that tweet. The grocery items based game for me is definitely it's in the bag because that's probably one of my favorite just price games. Period. We were talking about earlier in the podcast because it's just a pure pricing game. So I love that one. Beth, what's your favorite grocery item based game?
Would Pay the Rent count for that? Yeah, because you pick grocery items.
Yeah,
for
that's
that.
grocery items.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. I really like Pay the Rent, but I think also. I was there during Pay the Rent when we were building it, and it was just really cool process. And I like that you can leave that game with a pretty awesome amount of money, and like even if you don't really win it, you know?
You're almost assured $5,000.
Yeah, which is awesome.
And you really have to knucklehead it up to not be assured $10,000.
Yeah, totally.
A lot of true fans, big, huge Price is Right, long-term fans don't love Pay the Rent. Jordan, how do you feel about it?
I love Pay the Rent. It's a puzzle game, more or less. Because the strategy is just what's the most expensive prize and top. The rest is just get a good combination of the two and just level up. That's it.
I like Pay the Rent because it sounds easy. Like, I remember when we were testing the game in the office, like, I was just like, oh, yeah, I'm going to win this every time. Really? They want to make this a game? And it's like every time I lost. You know what I mean? And so I think it's really cool that it totally is harder than you think it's going to be.
But totally
like
beatable. If you play it the way Jordan's describing, it's totally beatable.
Mm-hmm.
If you back into it, if you take what's the most expensive item and then you back into it, then that makes you put the what happened? Who's calling us? That was weird. Someone was calling us on the podcast hotline, Jordan.
God,
that was amazing.
Calling in.
But if you back into it the way he's saying, then you inevitably get to the final or the first thing that goes in the mailbox, and that isn't necessarily the least expensive thing. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. But if you back into it in the right way, then you can win.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Cool.
A lot of people criticize Pay to Rent because it's like, oh, it'll never going to win. You did that this season. You actually got your first winner.
Yeah, we've had 3 people solve the puzzle, as you put it, and one of them won, and the other 2 bailed out at $10,000. So they had it right. And in fact, it was the first season we played it. Beth, I think you were still there. We played Pay the Rent in our veteran show.
I remember that.
And the guy got it right, and I am literally coming undone. I'm so excited. I'm out of my chair. I'm pacing around. Cue the fireworks, or the confetti. I'm so excited that this guy got it right. And everyone in the audience is telling him to go for it, and he goes, Drew, I'm going to go for the $10,000. And we're like, no. Go say I'm going to go for it because you got that was such a bummer. And then I was like, oh, now no one's ever going to win it. When you have a little bit of it felt like luck, especially because as a serviceman, it would have been so perfect. All right, Jordan. Anything else you want to know about price? Oh, I have a question for you. Sure. When did you start? When did you become a fan of Price is Right?
When you were a kid, it's like, oh, I'm sick. Oh, I gotta go watch. I think I remember I was like 3. It's like my grandma was like, oh, I'm a big fan of Price. She went to a few tapings, in the first couple seasons actually. She loved the show very much. My mom told me my first words were Barker, but I don't believe that.
Oh my gosh!
I believe it.
Wow, that's awesome.
I'm a big fan of the show. I remember I once did school to watch it in elementary school. That was in a real good idea. But
No, I think that's a great idea. I support that. I used to not support that kind of behavior, but now I do.
Have you ever come to the show?
You know what? The sad part is I always go to taping, and I try to go to tapings, and it's always sold out. Like, even if I have, like, the guaranteed seat, it's like, nope, sorry, it's already packed in.
So, Jordan, where do you live?
Well, I live in Los Angeles, so I'm, like, right here in the area. But
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh,
How's
you
the
have
road?
Jordan come.
Yeah, Drew, if you want to come to the show, you can't be a contestant, but we can get you VIP, get you a seat, and you don't have to wait in the line and do all that. That's just because you were a guest on the Random Show podcast.
Those are the types of perks we hand out.
I love this idea. This is a good show. Wow.
And are you finishing? I thought you at one point tweeted me that you wanted to be an intern on the show. Are you in school? What's happening with that?
I
Or
just
was that
graduated in the fall. I got my degree, television production.
Oh, cool.
Oh, did you?
And where'd you go to
Aw.
school?
Cal State Northridge.
Nice.
Right over there.
And so, what's your plan now?
Just try and find options, watch the shows, have fun. Basically, it's just all a let's relax kind of moments. Like, hey, you just graduated, you got all that stuff out of the way. Now just get out there, get your foot in the door.
It's
Awesome.
interesting. I used to really be against the, you got out of school, relax, take time off, go travel, do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I've completely changed my mind on it, but I have come up with the fact that, especially Jordan's generation, mine a little bit, and Beth somewhere in there in the middle, is we are going to work so long that, saying that you're going to work from 22 to 65, I don't see how anyone can afford to retire ever.
Right.
And they're going to keep us alive a really long time. And with all the advances in medication and all the procedures, we're all going to be robotic, and that's going to be super expensive. And no matter how much of the government that covers that, it's still going to be expensive to you. So it's going to be hard. I think it's going to be really hard to retire. That all being said, I think
on that bright note,
but that all being said, I think it's not a bad idea. I read this book about the new way to have a career, and taking a year after school, which I came out with like guns blaring. It's all I wanted to do and whatever. Used to be, you needed to do that because if you were 25 and you were still fumbling around and trying to find your career, if you were 30 and still fumbling around trying to find your career, it seemed like it was late in the game. But if you're going to work to 75 years old, which sounds insane, but I think that's where my generation's headed. Is we're going to work in 60. It went from 60 to 65, and it's going to be 70 soon. It's 67 now is the average retirement age.
God.
It's going to get to 70. It's going to by the time we're there, it's going to be certainly by the time Beth and Jordan are there, it's going to be 75. All that being said, because you're a lot younger, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
All that being said, this book I read was like take 2 years, take a year out of school because you're going to have plenty of time to work. It's going to be about not working to retirement, which that's what our parents did. It was like, man, 65, I'm out.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be about take a year off and go do something else. Take 6 months off and do a sabbatical. Like you're going to start hearing sabbaticals and stuff like that when someone's 45 because they've still, if you do my math, at 45, you still have 30 more years of your career to go.
Well, and I think the thing that's interesting about LA is I think that it's more important to do that sort of thing because we all move here. I'm just speaking, I guess, about myself and some of my friends, but like we all move here to pound the pavement with no guarantees. And so it is sort of like you can spend a lot of your 20s just being like working really, really hard and being like, wait a second, did I ever do anything like exploratory outside this business? Like, did I ever? Like,
and isn't it more fun to explore when you're 35, 40, or 45 and not broke than it is to explore when you're 22 and you're living in hostels? Not because I did that. I did like the travel through Europe thing, and that's fun. But I just went back to Europe for the first time as someone who
you were
wasn't
like,
broke.
this is way better.
Like, wow. Because my memory of Europe is being hungry, like literal hunger pains, and I was not hungry this time. I ate all the time. I ate every time I walked by a restaurant. I was like,
was there anything like kind of cool but romantic about being hungry though?
No.
In Europe as a kid?
No, because I just get
you're over
hangry.
it. You're
Yeah,
just
I just
when I get hungry, I get angry, I get
angry.
moody.
Yeah.
I gotta get out of here.
I am not happy. Why are the portions so much smaller in
Like that.
London than they are here?
America.
Well, it is why we're fat, but that's a whole different show. Hey, Jordan, best of luck. We'll be in contact with you. We'll get you to the show, and you come see a taping, okay?
Oh, you bet.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thank you, Jordan.
See you in the
Take care.
Twitterverse. Well, there you go.
He was really sweet.
He was fun.
I know. That's really cool that we got a fan letter, though.
You know what's amazing is that I think of him like just finishing broadcast, school, which is what I did, and I'm trying to remember back to what that was like when you're so excited and you're standing on the outside and you want in so bad to work, and then you walk into the studio for the first time and you see, like, I can remember seeing the studio at the Tonight Show for the first time and going, oh my God, all I want it to do is work in a studio every day. And what I should have said is all I want to do is work in a studio 5 days a week.
Right.
Not every day.
But it's really cool to have that freedom feeling that I think he's probably having right now. Like, just the idea of, like, he could choose to do anything right now in this city and, like, really try to work hard for it. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think
it's really cool.
That age, I'm assuming he's 21, 22, is a really fun, like, and scary. And what's hard is you want to enjoy it because you're like, I have the whole world at my fingertips, but you're so freaked out that you're never going to work and that you just spent all that money going to college, or at least I was.
Yeah, I don't know. See, when I first graduated, I was like, this is going to be awesome. Like, I just had, like, the utmost confidence in myself, do you know what I mean, about it, And now, a couple years now down the road, it's sort of like, it's
6
funny.
years later? When did you graduate?
5. Yeah.
How old are you?
27. And so it's just sort of crazy to be like, it's just sort of crazy to be like, oh God, was I more confident when I knew nothing?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
of course I was.
100%.
Now I'm like, oh.
Oh no, I came out of Pepperdine having hosted my own show. We did 44 episodes of it. It won awards. I got grants to do it. It became a course at Pepperdine. Like, I came out.
When you're, like, decorated at college, you're like, yeah.
Okay, television, congratulations.
You're like, welcome.
You're welcome. I'm here. Not that I was really like that, but, I was, like, pretty confident that I was going to go do something. And I was lucky that I got some stuff early on that made me buy into that.
Right.
But it's definitely, no matter how successful you are, unless you're Jay-Z. What? Thanks. Jen Bisgrove's asleep. Then I think time humbles you a little bit.
I think that it's cool that we got our first fan letter from Jordan. And I would just like to say that I have gotten 2 emails in the last 2 months at beth@bethtriffin.com, which is my website. And they have wanted autographed pictures of me. And I have no clue why. But maybe it has to do with this show. I'm not quite sure.
I'm going to say it does.
Okay.
Because people love you. Although your headshot is so serious. Do you have a fun one?
Yeah, I do have a fun one.
I don't like your serious one. I mean, it's pretty and whatever, but
Well, it's not what you think of when you think of me.
Yeah. It's very serious.
Well, I have some serious thoughts.
Do you?
Yeah.
Let's hear one.
No.
It's now time for the best... No, I did it wrong. Wait, re-rack.
Take that back.
Now it's time for the Beth story ever told.
Yay. So, I am unemployed right now.
What? You're telling me there's an actress in Los Angeles that's unemployed? Alert the media. Let's put out a press release.
Well, so pretty.
Extra, hey, mister.
Yeah, but I'm unemployed and I'm Beth, Like, usually I try to be responsible about my life rather than sort of a wreck. And I'm sort of in wreck zone right now.
Wreckville? What?
But I think
okay.
it's really good.
At least you have a car and a place to live. Which Jen
Jen
Bisgrove is 0 for 2.
She's got a scooter and a couch, guys.
Do you even have a couch?
I think so.
Is it your couch?
No,
I think it's your roommate's couch.
Maybe not.
She was looking around because her roommate's moving out and whatever.
Oh.
It's a bad deal.
F that.
And she's looking around. She's like, that flat screen TV, that's not mine.
mine.
Like,
I know.
all the good stuff was not. But we're going to find her a place. She's going to live down at the beach. I'm telling her she has to live
I
down
think
there.
that sounds great.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be amazing.
Cool.
I'm trying to lend her a car. She won't take it.
Jen,
No, I'm going
please
to.
don't. What car is she going to have?
She's going to borrow the Lexus.
The
I think,
Grandpa
right?
Lexus?
The Grandpa
Yeah, the Grandpa
Lexus.
Lexus.
Yes, that's so cool. Remember I asked you if I could pay you like $200 for that thing?
Yeah, she tried to buy what is a pretty expensive car. Well, new it was $80,000. I didn't buy it new. I bought it off of my father, who is a grandpa, ergo the grandpa car. Somebody did have a funny, because I used to drive that car every day.
Yeah, I did.
And yeah, you were around for that.
I like cars with wood steering wheels.
Yeah,
it's
it has
very
a wood-
classy. It's
yeah.
very like Downton Abbey.
Yeah,
I want
We're here. And it's a great car to be driven in. But I get out of it, and somebody goes, "Does your grandpa know you have his car?" And I thought that was a really good.
All right. Well, this is the best story ever told. So
Sorry.
anyway,
So Jen Bisgrove's going to drive the grandpa
that
car.
sounds great. So anyway, I don't know. I quit my job with Mike because I was like, oh, I got to do like, my actor's thing.
I had clipped her wings.
Yeah, you
she
clipped my
felt.
wings. No, I did not think that. But whatever. Anyway, so I was like, I'm going to try these like part-time jobs. And so I went overboard with the part-time jobs. I got 3, okay, which was silly. I just was afraid that I'd have no money, which, I've never had money. So I don't know what I was afraid of. Anyway, the point is I totally quit my job.
Well, you had money when you gave my money around.
Well, yeah, but it was your money.
But you were free with it.
Well, yeah, because it wasn't mine. But anyway, so I quit my job at such location, which I'm not going to tell you, but if you listen to any of the other podcasts, you'll know. And it was like a menial.
One of my favorite places to go is to a bar. Oh. And I think that there's a particular...
Like, don't do this to me.
There's a particular... When you go to a bar, there's a method with which you can order a drink. Like there's a bar method.
Yeah. Oh.
If you will.
Yeah. That's anyway.
So you quit. Why did you quit, Beth?
Well, I quit because
Wait, everybody, get ready. Yeah. It's the Beth story ever told. Told.
I quit. I was a desk attendant at this place of work, and I at night would clean it up. I would, dust bust and sweep and mop.
Anytime you work at any kind
vacuum.
of workout place, and you're the attendant, because I was, that's what I did at the Pasadena Athletic Club.
Okay.
In Pasadena, California, which is now leveled. Your job is to sign people in, greet them,
right?
Make sure that everything's going great, make sure everybody's happy.
And by the way, I am super friendly.
Yeah, I can imagine you being a very warm person walking in, whatever, when you're walking in and checking in and saying, hey, how are you, and whatever. But one of the stinky parts of those jobs is you're also the janitor because they don't want to pay for the janitor.
Right. So you have to clean it. So, so I was dust busting and running around. And the time to get all that work done is during the class, And so I was doing all that, and I, emptying the dust buster, and some of the dust fell out of the dust buster onto the floor, like next to the trash can. And I was like, well, the last thing I do is vacuum, so I'll just get that crap when I vacuum, And, the owners walked in, and I was doing laundry and all that kind of stuff. And all of a sudden, one of them was just like, Beth, can you tell me what happened over here by the trash can? And I was like...
I wish we videoed this because she goes into characters and like does the hand gestures and the eyes and the whole thing.
But the worst part was it was in front of about 6 like customers and like some other people. And I was like, I don't know. And she was like, well, there's a bunch of dust over here and we just had to walk over it. And, of course, in my head, I'm thinking, like...
You had to walk over dust?
Children are starving. Like, what? Like, this is ridiculous. But in my head, of course, I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, you know what? I'm so sorry. I dropped it out of the dust buster.
I'm going to let the refugees in Rwanda know that you just had to step over dust, and maybe that'll put them in their place.
And I was like, I'll vacuum it as soon as I'm done. And she said, well, I just think... that if you made a mess, you should clean it up as soon as you made it.
Wait, I said that to my 3-year-old, or your boss said that to you?
My boss said that to me. And you know what? You can pretty much abuse me to, like, the cows come home. I'll do, like, anything you want. But
just don't make her eat the cow. Unless it's
just
financially beneficial.
But just to talk to me like that, I just was
especially in front of 6 people.
In front of 6 people. It really sucked. My face got red. I all of a sudden was like, I'm a failure. I wanted to cry. I was burning. It was awful. And so then I even went up like privately afterwards and was like, hey, because I'm doing this new thing where I'm telling people what up, but in a really, really nice way.
Yeah, because you tend to, or have, let people get away with it because you hate confrontation.
Yes.
It's well documented that in our working career, we never had confrontations.
No.
But if there was a confrontation that took place near my office or in my office or whatever, you literally would go outside.
Oh, yeah. Like, I want to be nice.
If I had to talk to someone seriously about their job, then Beth would be like, I'm
coffee break.
Yeah. I'm like, but you don't take coffee. Where's Beth? And she'd be gone. And then as soon as it was over, she would come slinking back in. Hi, how are you? So she doesn't like confrontation, so she's trying to confront people.
Yeah, so I went up and I just was like, hey, I just want to let you know that was sort of like an embarrassing, unfortunate situation for me. And, I really hope that you know that I would clean up dust if I dropped dust. By the way, she's already cleaned it up.
Oh no, she did it herself. Oh.
And she just was like, well, I think that it takes 1 minute to plug in a vacuum. And I was just like, okay, well, I'm just telling you, I think the way this is handled was horrible. And she was like, okay. And I was like, okay. And so then I drove home, cried the whole way home. Like,
Did you really cry?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, because
Do you think that's an Jen Bisgrove? Do you think that's an actress thing? Like, because I think actresses are more connected with their emotions. Crazy. And I think that, like, I could have a really rough go, but I don't think I would end up crying. And I'm a guy, so that's different. So I'm asking Jen Bisgrove.
When I get frustrated with work, not in this job, I haven't.
Oh,
in
really?
previous jobs.
I just got really nervous.
What? Oh.
No, and not in this job, but yeah.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah. I've cried in front of multiple bosses.
You
really?
cried?
Because I don't know if I've even cried in front of. Have I cried in front of you, Mike?
Yeah.
I've like.
But not because of
whimpered.
something I did.
Yeah, no.
It was about something else, and then
Okay.
you cried in front of me. It wasn't like I never
Okay.
made you cry.
Well, I'm a crier. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it's release. But I also just felt like this woman was going to like ruin the rest of my night. I was really upset. And so I quit that night. And I said.
You sent them an email.
I sent them an email. And I just said, hey, guys.
And
Just
then she apologized to you.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really big on the email. So
Yeah.
I'm so sorry that, and I shouldn't have handled it that way. And
Yeah,
I've
it
learned
was
something
kind of
on how
amazing.
to, and you're like, and how does that help me other than I'm unemployed? Because now that I'm glad, when you told me this story, I was like, if I'm Beth, I'm going, super glad that you learned a lesson.
Where's
now,
my money?
And to teach you a lesson, I'm now unemployed. Thanks ever so much.
But you know what? I have to say, just as like, it made me feel so much better. Like I felt like a piece of
Only Beth could feel good about that. Because
crap.
then I would be so bitter and pissed off.
Oh yeah. As soon as I wrote the email, as soon as I like said my piece that I knew was right in my heart, like I actually felt so much better. I have to be honest.
Well, you gave her what for, and then.
Oh, and then so that was Friday. That
Uh-huh.
was 2 Fridays ago. And then about a couple days ago, another Friday, I got let go from my other part-time job.
What? I didn't even know you had another part-time job.
Oh, Mike, you're gonna die. I do like part-time accounting.
What? Nope, I'm leaving. That's it. That's all the time we have for. You do not do anything with numbers.
Yeah.
Oh God, someone's
Yeah.
business hinges on your accounting.
Well,
ability?
I'm like an assistant to someone who.
Oh,
like,
God.
I
Oh,
mean,
God.
it's a lot of just like data entry with Excel.
Data?
But
What? Oh
yeah.
no.
But I'm not
Oh.
doing that anymore either. So
So what happened there?
you know what? It's a design business, and they just are really slow in the summers. So I'm supposed to start again in September, but I'm not counting on it. But you know what? Can I just say that I actually feel great about losing all these jobs? I
Good.
really do.
I'm really happy for you. Why?
Why?
Why do you feel good?
Because you know what? I freaked out by getting all these jobs and thinking
Do you
that
have
I
one
wasn't.
now? Are you down to one?
I mean, I babysit, but
Oh,
no, not really.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what do you like? How will you eat?
Well,
Luckily, she's quite small. Is that why you keep coming to the sets?
yeah, right. No, I think it's really good.
She
I
does
mean-
come in. She's like, I'm taking this water and this pack of peanuts.
Oh yeah, I know that I do.
Every time she comes
I
to
do.
Price.
Well, I don't get paid for this podcast, so I
Me
was.
neither.
Yeah, well, I know, but so I was thinking, well, I at least can take like a pack of gum.
Maybe we should do a Beth charity drive. But then I would want to put in a Jen Bisgrove charity drive who's burned a car up and now lost
See,
her place
to be
live.
honest, I'm pretty okay. I know that doesn't make sense
It
to
makes
you.
no sense.
But I am. I can't tell you the amount of stuff I've done in the last like week. But now that I
No, it
have
sounds
like
amazing.
free time,
Yeah.
just like the writing and the working on the web series,
No,
and
yeah,
it's
that's
been
good.
really good. So
Well, that was the Beth story ever told.
no
ever
jobs,
told.
no jobs,
No jobs.
No jobs.
But maybe we should try to get paid for the podcast. Or we should try to get sponsors.
I think that we should totally.
A lot of people
Try to
watch
get
it.
paid for the podcast.
A lot of people watch it on YouTube because we put it on the Price is Right YouTube channel, but we don't even
Oh, I did
publicize
not
that.
know
Yeah, it's on the
that.
Price is Right YouTube channel, and like it gets hundreds of hits.
Oh wow,
Like the Monty one got like 380 something
that's great. I didn't know
views,
that.
and I think the podcast is downloaded more than that, but we have no way of tracking that.
Mhm.
So that's probably 1 million.
Mm-hmm. That's
If I had
mean,
to guess,
right?
if
Is
I had
it?
to, yeah, no. I
I'm
don't know.
annoyed because I asked Jen the other day if she knows how many people download the podcast, and iTunes doesn't tell you that.
No, it doesn't.
That's so annoying.
Dear the iTunes.
Dear the iTunes.
It's me,
How are we
Beth
supposed
Triffin.
to run a business
Yeah,
here?
how am I supposed to make money? How am I supposed to pay Beth? How is Jen Bisgrove ever going to have a house to live in? She's homeless. I did think she was going to move on to the boat. Hey, I wanted to do answer a couple of the Twitter questions. One
Cool.
I didn't answer from last, and then we're done. We're over. Somebody asked me about favorite TPR games, David Walls, which we did, but he said also thoughts on taking the show on the road, Radio City, Vegas. When I first started, Drew and I met at Bob's Big Boy. and we still speak romantically about that first meeting. And he and I were like, wouldn't it be so fun to travel the show? I think the show would do amazingly well. And
Am
I'd
I
love
about to sound like stupid? Isn't there?
There's a Price is Right live show, but actually
the
travel the
TV
show.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
okay.
No, that wasn't stupid. And so we both would love to do that. I would love to go to college towns.
That'd be awesome.
Do it, put it up in front of 5,000 people and
Yeah.
have people come down. Just the energy and all of that stuff would be
it'd
amazing. It is cost prohibitive. It is so freaking expensive. It doesn't mean it's not something we won't revisit. It is. We looked at doing it at a military base. Remember that 2 years ago? We went and did a site survey down at the Seal Beach area. And we were going to be in a hangar, and Drew was going to come in on a helicopter, and we were going to have a different branch of the military each day on the show, but live from the hangar and all the military hardware around us and all that kind of stuff. And even though they were giving us the hangar, and even though it was truckable distance, like we weren't going to have to put up staff or anything, everybody could just drive there. It was beyond exorbitantly expensive. So no plans to travel it, although if someone throws a few $1 million at us, that would be an amazing but I would want to take it into the heart of the country. I
go to Ohio.
Going to Ohio, especially with Drew, would be amazing. And go to Ohio State or something like that would be
freaking
super
huge.
fun.
That'd be
so
awesome.
that would be a good one. Let me go to the next one here. Summer, which her Twitter handle @SammyJoe25. I'm a super fan of at Price is Right. Does constantly tweeting help my odds of getting on the stage? No, it doesn't. Oh, she's a fan of at Let's Make a Deal and Price is Right. It does not. You actually have to be here physically present. It is very difficult for us to pick you to be on this show based on a tweet. But you should come to the show. Yeah. And stand in line. And
it does help you in the quickie deals for Let's Make a Deal.
Yeah, because if you follow us on Twitter, good job, Beth. We're over 100,000 Twitter followers on Let's Make a Deal. It's insane. And finally, Derek Borland @10Impala, who tweets me a lot and asks me questions, gives me ideas and stuff like that. He asked, when Price is Right as a celebrity week again, would you consider @Xtina and @Hillary Duff?
Oh.
I believe, and I could be wrong, I know we went after Christina Aguilera both years that we've done it so far. So the answer with her is absolutely, and I think we went after Hillary Duff, although I can't remember.
I think we did.
That
sounds really familiar.
Because that's perfect for us, and I think they would both be. Anytime you have people that are really good performers, stage performers, they're both really nice, warm people. They like cheering for people. That's who we look for to be on the celebrity shows. So yes, if you know, hey Derek, if you know Xtina. Then tweet her and have her come on the show because we would love to have her on the show. That's it. That's the podcast for today. We learned a lot.
Yeah.
We learned that Big Shot, Beth's not that impressed and would rather get her nails done than
Just
hear about
wheel.
that. The new floor is really shiny, and we
I'm
made
excited.
a bit. I'm really nervous. I'm actually going to drive to the set and on Sunday to see it.
Wow.
I'm so worried about it.
On a Sunday.
I'm really worried about it. On my one day off. My wife's going to be thrilled. But I'll take the boys with me, and we'll go check it out or something like that.
Cool.
Very nervous about the floor. Bisgrove drank too much on the boat.
Yeah.
Jordan Haas is a fan, and he's already tweeting us that
is he?
he was on. Let's see what he just said.
I really like him.
Well, that was exciting talking to @MRichTV and @Beth Triffin about The Price is Right. He's such an awesome guy to talk to.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I love that, Jordan.
He was really awesome.
He was great. I love talking to fans. We want to do that more and keep tweeting us.
Yeah.
Because we love answering the questions, and then we'll put you on the podcast. And then, of course, Beth is unemployed. So please send her money. Her Twitter, again, is @Beth Triffin. And, just set up a PayPal account, and we'll just donate money.
Sounds great.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Bye.